speaker that you can plug in Game Boy cartridges, and then it'll play the audio off of that. So I don't know if you were a gambler in the late 80s, early 90s, you might recognize Caesar's Palace. So you plug that in, and it's like you're back on the casino floor. You hear all the cool audio. So anyways, figuring out the enclosure and the circuitry to power that, doing all the stuff to like figure out how to get a cart to slot in nicely. So yeah, there's a lot of constraints that you have to solve for, right? So here's one where trying to figure out the cartridge tolerance, left to right, front to back, trying to figure out like, okay, if that slides in and it's not proud of the surface here, where does my circuit board sit, and where does the cart receiver sit on top of that? So a bunch of math and boring stuff, but then also, this is my stand-in PCB V2. This has to have USB-C and a headphone jack that I'm going to pop out of there. There's like an antenna that you can't have much going on in front of it. And then on the front half, you've got a 40mm speaker there. So anyways, a lot of things that are like spoken for space-wise. But after that, when you're to the enclosure, you can have it be whatever you want. So there's some pretty cool stuff going on here. I just want to do a quick inventory and shout out to the creators of this guy. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So, a lot of nice comfort corner radiuses, like 5mm or whatever. You can see this is like 3 different ones coming together, so that's nice. And then they do a larger radius in the back here for comfort, kind of get these channels or grooves for grippiness probably. But then you start getting into, how you manufacture these injection molded, and River Milk's going to join us and eat some trash. Anyways, injection molded, you have to make this in 2 pieces basically, so you can put stuff inside of it. So if you have 2 pieces, you're going to have a seam, but they actually put extra material in there and make that a design motif that they can then carry through and kind of break up the surface and, use in different ways, which I think is pretty cool. So taking what would be a downside and turning it into something that they can leverage so that it's not just a flat surface. But the thing I really like is this corner here. So we already talked about this sort of like 5mm one, and maybe this is like a 25 or something like that. But then they have this, which is a different one. So like this corner, well, sort of the front and back, there's so much going on here. So you've got this chamfer, you've got this radius, this radius, this radius. You've got this little backpack with its own radius. So there's like 4 different corner radiuses coming together here, plus the chamfer. It's just really cool how they did that. And I think for something like this, there's no real purpose. You could maybe argue like right-handed people, whatever, they can grip it better, or maybe room for the speaker, but I don't know. Maybe there's a reason. If you know it, let me know. But I just love it as a design motif that then they can carry through to stuff like this.